Hello and welcome to Karma's a Stitch. You guys, it is November 1st. Can you believe it? We have 2 months left in 2025. I am completely floored. I don't even know where this year has gone. But if you have been around Karma's a Stitch community for a while, you will know that November is when I am doing my WIP Roundup. So if you're not familiar, I've taken everything off of my WIP wall, Anthony has, and we've stacked them all up. And each day in November, we're going to take a project off of the WIP wall. Now, at the moment that I'm recording this, I have not counted that number. I really should. Hopefully I'll have a chance to do that, and I'll put that number here if I get a chance to count them. But we are going to start the WIP Roundup with the project that Anthony held up. He had no idea where to put this final project. And what we're going to do, depending on how many projects I have, like we only have 30 days in November, I probably have right around 30 WIPs. So we'll see. But I'm going to take out a project each day. Anthony or Alex, one of the two, will pick a project off of the stack of WIPs. And I'll work on that project. You and I'll talk about it. I'll share with you what it is and what the material is. And then I'm going to decide if I'm going to keep it or if I'm going to frog it. I know that there are a couple I will probably frog. And if that's the case, I'll just put the wool into something else and we'll have that spot open and I'll empty out the project bag. But I will work on the projects that I choose to keep for 24 hours. And then I'll share with you the project progress, and then we'll pick another project off of the stack and we'll work on that one for 24 hours until the end of November when we've gotten through all of them. Now, the only ones I will probably not necessarily spend a whole day on will be blankets. I'm not going to spend a day working on a blanket because I know that I'm not going to finish it in that 24-hour period. I know I'm not going to get a really good idea on how much longer I have on that project, and I will probably share that project with you, put it up on the WIP wall, and grab another one. Today, we are going to talk about 2 projects, possibly 3. This first one is a blanket. There was no way for it to go on that pile. And with that not being able to go on the pile, we might as well talk about it and get it back on the WIP wall because I know I'm not going to work on it. So let's talk about that. If you are new here, I'm so sorry that I have not introduced myself. My name is Tonya, and this is a channel where we talk about my knitting and crochet or fiber stuff. And this month I will be doing what I call my WIP Roundup. And it's so that I can go through all my projects at the end of the year, figure out what I still have on the needles, if I still want that project, if I still want to finish it. And then going into 2026, I will know, I'll know what I have. I know what I'll have. I keep all of my WIPs on a wall in my house in cubbies, and I call it my WIP wall. And I keep all of them there and work on them throughout the year. So it'd be really great to know going into 2026 what I have on my WIP wall. And you guys too. Some of these you'll recognize from last year. Some of them have been on the WIP wall for a minute. So let's watch Anthony make the pile so you guys are familiar with the pile. Okay, so this first project is the one Anthony didn't know where to put. He had no idea where to put this project. He didn't know, there was no space. There was no room for it. So we might as well talk about it. We might as well get it back up on the WIP wall in a spot. We'll see what spot gets chosen. I probably won't show you guys the WIP wall until the end of November. But right now, let's talk about this project. This is being housed in this project bag here. My mother made this for me. It's so big. I can't even show you the whole thing. It's so massive. And I think it's called a Mondo bag. It is quilted and it opens up. And inside this Mondo bag, I have another project bag. In this project bag, I have the Stephen West Slip Stravaganza blanket. Are you familiar with the Slip Stravaganza blanket, you guys? Let me get to a picture where it shows the whole thing. So here's a picture of the Slip Stravaganza blanket. Now, if you look at this, Stephen West, I've never met him. I've never seen him in person, but from what I hear, the man is 6'4". So if you look at him on this couch, that blanket is huge. So you've got these honeycombs, you've got these little cross things, you've got these bubbles or baubles or whatever he calls them. Anyway, I'll pull mine out and you guys can see where I'm at in this project, in this blanket. I'm actually further along than I was last year. I did make progress on this one this year. So we have the honeycombs, we have these little cross things, and I've actually started on the baubles. So this is actually a really fun project. And you're going to hear me say this several times this month. I already know I'm going to say it, but pulling this out, I just want to work on this project. Like, I just want to start picking up these baubles and start working on this. I probably should, but I'm not going to because I have another project I want to share with you guys. So this one is my Stephen West Slip Stravaganza blanket. Let's talk about the material. I've got the gray, which is this Baby Bee Sweet Delight Airplane colorway. I've got this, it looks white in the blanket. It's Baby Bee Sweet Delight Bare Blue Marled. The red that I'm using is Cascade Yarns Cherub DK. And the black that I'm using is Sweet Baby Bee Sweet Delight Soft Licorice. So those are the colors that I am putting into this blanket. I am further along than I was last year. We will get this project put back on the WIP wall, and then I will share with you the next project that we are going to talk about today. Okay, so this next project that I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to work on today, but I want to share it with you because it also did not make it to the WIP wall because it resides in my bedroom where I work on it when I can. So this is a blanket that I am making from 4 of the advents that I got last year. Now this pattern is derived mainly from, it's a mitered square blanket, and I'm just doing different things with the color scheme. So here is the blanket so far. So I have one more colorway down here at the bottom that I still need to get into this blanket. So that is where this blanket is. Now this is, I had 4 advents last year that were fingering weight, and this one here was put together for me by a friend. And so I'm doing a square of the blanket from one advent, and then above that I will attach the colors from another advent and build that whole quarter of the blanket. And then next to that, you get the idea. Each corner of the blanket, each quarter of the blanket will be a different advent. But I will have these white squares as part of the mitered square throughout the whole thing. So I am holding these minis because they're fingering weight. I am holding them double to make a DK weight, and then I'm holding it with a DK undyed yarn that I use to dye my wool with. So that's the second project that we're going to talk about today. And then let me put this one back, and then I'll show you the one that we're actually going to work on today. Okay, so this third project that we're going to talk about today also did not make it to the WIP wall. What a boring, unsatisfying feeling. I like the part where I can watch that pile of WIPs get smaller and smaller. But today we're not taking anything off of that pile because we talked about this Slipstravaganza blanket. We talked about last year's Advent blanket. This one is sitting here because it's what I've been working on. And having been working on it, you guys will have seen it last week. But I really want to try to finish it today. It is November 1st. It is Saturday, so I do have my knit along group that we're getting together with on Saturday nights where we just get together and knit. And I really want to try to finish my Stephen West 2025 Musical shawl. And this is the progress. So this here, let's see if I can hold it. This here was, these scallops were clue 1. These squiggle lines were clue 2, which is where I ended up putting in that mohair dare. And then clue 3 had 2 sections, and that was these strips here and these here. And to level it out, I put this mohair that I introduced over here, I included it in this section as well to kind of balance out that appearance with the red. And then clue 4, I chose to do the brioche. So I've got this brioche section. There's 3 brioche sections, this one, and I've started my third. I really think if I just buckle down tonight and tomorrow, I could potentially get this brioche section done and be finished with this. So this also does not go back on the WIP wall. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how I can do with that. So that's 3 projects that I've shared today. It's the first day of my WIP roundup, you guys. I hope you're strapped in and you're ready because that pile is a lot bigger than I thought that it was going to be. So with that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.